Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of microinverters.
I'm ready for more.
We've explored their inner workings, but now let's shift our focus to a truly remarkable aspect, their ability to function both in harmony with the grid and independently forming islands of power.
Yes, this islanding operation really captured my imagination. It's amazing to think that these little devices can act like mini power stations during a grid outage. But how does it actually work? How do they seamlessly transition from being grid connected to operating solo?
It all boils down to a clever dance between synchronization from detection. Think of a symphony orchestra where each musician is perfectly in tune with the conductor. That's how microinverters normally operate, syncing their frequency and voltage with the grid's rhythm.
So they're like disciplined dancers following the grid's lead.
Precisely. But what happens when the music stops? When the grid goes down, the conductor vanishes. That's where islanding detection comes in. Microinverters are designed to sense these grid disturbances and quickly switch gears to operate independently.
So they have some sort of built-in sensor that tells them the grid is down.
Not exactly a sensor, but rather a set of algorithms that constantly monitor the grid's vital signs, frequency, voltage, and phase. If these parameters stray too far from the norm, it's a clear signal that something's wrong.
It's like they're constantly taking the grid's pulse, and when the heartbeat falters, they know it's time to go into survival mode.
A brilliant analogy, and this survival mode is what we call islanding. The microinverter disconnects from the grid and forms its own self-contained power island capable of energizing essential loads.
But hold on, doesn't the grid dictate the frequency and voltage? How can the microinverter just take over?
That's the remarkable part. In island mode, the microinverter becomes the conductor, setting its own frequency and voltage to ensure stable operation of the isolated loads.
So it's like a chameleon adapting to its environment and taking charge when needed, but how does it know what frequency and voltage to set?
Well, there are different control strategies for this. Some microinverters maintain a fixed frequency and voltage, while others employ more sophisticated techniques like droop control.
Droop control. What's that all about?
Imagine multiple microinverters forming an island together. They need a way to share the load, fairly ensuring a balanced and harmonious power flow. Droop control acts like a negotiation protocol, allowing each microinverter to adjust its output based on the overall demand.
So it's like a team effort, each microinverter contributing its fair share to keep the island running smoothly.
Exactly, and this ability to work together seamlessly in island mode is what makes microinverters such powerful building blocks for resilient energy systems known as microgrids.
Microgrids is a term I've been hearing more and more these days. What exactly are they, and how do microinverters fit into the picture?
A microgrid is essentially a miniature version of the larger electrical grid, capable of operating independently to provide reliable power to a localized area like a neighborhood, a campus, or even a single home.
So it's like a mini power grid with its own generation, sources, storage, and control systems.
Precisely. And microinverters are key players in these microgrids, providing a flexible and distributed source of clean energy. Their ability to effortlessly switch between grid-connected and island modes makes them ideal for creating these resilient and self-sufficient systems.
It's fascinating to see how this technology is pushing us towards a more distributed and resilient energy future. We're moving away from the traditional model of relying on a centralized power plant and embracing a more decentralized and community-driven approach.
I completely agree. Microinverters are at the forefront of this energy revolution, empowering individuals and communities to take control of their energy destiny and build a more sustainable and resilient world.
This is truly inspiring. It seems like we've only just begun to tap into the vast potential of microinverters. But before we get too carried away with future possibilities, let's bring our focus back to the present. We've talked a lot about the technical aspects, but what about the practical side of things? What are the real-world benefits of using microinverters in solar installations?
That's an excellent question, and it's important to remember that technology is only as good as its application. In the case of microinverters, their practical benefits are what truly set them apart.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's dive into those benefits. What makes them such a compelling choice for homeowners and businesses looking to embrace solar energy?
Well, one of the most significant advantages is their ability to maximize energy production. Remember how we talked about microinverters operating independently at the panel level? This means that even if one panel is shaded or underperforming, the others can continue to operate at their peak efficiency.
Right. It's like having a team of independent solar superheroes, each one doing its best to save the day.
Exactly. This granular control at the panel level translates into higher overall energy yields, especially in real-world conditions where shading or panel mismatch are common.
So you're essentially squeezing every last watt of power out of your solar array. That sounds like a win for both the environment and your electricity bill.
Precisely. But the benefits go beyond just maximizing energy production. Microinverters also offer enhanced safety and reliability.
How so?
Well, traditional string inverters operate at high DC voltages, which can pose a safety hazard. Microinverters, on the other hand, convert the DC power to AC at the panel level, meaning that the wiring and components on your roof are operating at a much safer, lower voltage.
So it's like minimizing the risk of electrical shocks and fires.
Exactly. And because each microinverter is a self-contained unit, a failure in one won't bring down the entire system. This modularity significantly enhances reliability and simplifies maintenance.
So it's a bit like having a safety net for your solar system. If one part fails, the rest can keep going strong.
A perfect analogy. And speaking of maintenance, microinverters are typically very low maintenance devices. They have no moving parts and are designed to withstand harsh outdoor conditions.
So no oil changes or tune-ups needed for these solar workhorses.
Nope. Just set them up and let them do their thing. And because they operate at the panel level, it's easy to monitor the performance of each individual panel, making it simple to identify and address any issues that may arise.
So you have granular control and visibility over your entire solar array. That sounds like a huge advantage for troubleshooting and optimization.
It is. And let's not forget about the aesthetics. Microinverters are compact and typically mounted discreetly under each panel, making them much less obtrusive than those bulky string inverters.
So you can have a sleek and stylish solar setup without sacrificing performance or safety. That sounds like a winning combination.
It certainly is. And as technology continues to advance, we can expect even more innovative features and benefits to emerge. For example, some microinverters now offer integrated monitoring and control capabilities, allowing you to track your system's performance in real time and even adjust settings remotely.
It's like having a personal energy dashboard right at your fingertips.
Exactly. And this level of control and insight empowers homeowners and businesses to make informed decisions about their energy consumption and take an active role in managing their environmental impact.
It seems like microinverters are not just about generating clean energy, but also about empowering people to become more energy conscious and sustainable. They're changing the way we think about energy, shifting the focus from passive consumption to active participation.
I couldn't agree more. They're catalysts for a more decentralized and democratic energy future where individuals and communities have the tools and the knowledge to shape their own energy destiny.
It's an exciting time to be witnessing this energy revolution unfold. But as we delve deeper into the world of microinverters, it's important to acknowledge that they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. They have their strengths and their limitations, and choosing the right inverter technology depends on a variety of factors, including the size and layout of your solar array, your budget, and your energy needs.
You're absolutely right. It's important to do your research and consult with a qualified solar installer to determine the best solution for your specific situation.
Speaking of specific situations, let's talk about a scenario where microinverters truly shine. Partial shading. We mentioned this early, but I think it deserves a deeper dive. Why are microinverters so advantageous when it comes to dealing with shade?
That's a great point. Partial shading is a common challenge in solar installations, especially in residential settings where trees, buildings, or other obstructions can cast shadows on parts of the array. Traditional string inverters are highly susceptible to these shading issues.
Why is that?
Well, in a string inverter setup, all the panels are connected in series, forming a single electrical string. If even one panel in that string is shaded, the output of the entire string is reduced to the level of the weakest panel.
It's like a chain being only as strong as its weakest link.
Precisely. This can significantly impact the overall energy production of the system, even if only a small portion of the array is affected.
So a little bit of shade can cast a long shadow on your energy output.
Indeed. But microinverters offer a brilliant solution to this problem. Because each panel has its own dedicated microinverter, it operates independently and isn't affected by the performance of its neighbors.
So even if one panel is shaded, the others can continue to generate power at their full potential.
Exactly. This panel-level optimization ensures that you're harvesting the maximum amount of energy from your solar array, regardless of shading patterns.
That's a huge advantage, especially in areas where shade is a concern.
It is, and this ability to mitigate the effects of shade is one of the key reasons why microinverters are becoming increasingly popular in residential and commercial solar installations.
It seems like they're the perfect solution for homeowners who want to maximize their solar energy production, even if their roof isn't perfectly sunny all day long.
They certainly are a compelling choice for those situations, but it's important to note that microinverters are not just about shade mitigation. They offer a range of other benefits, including enhanced safety reliability and monitoring capabilities.
Right, we've covered a lot of ground already. It's clear that microinverters are a powerful technology with the potential to transform the way we generate and consume energy.
They are indeed a testament to human ingenuity, and their role in the transition to a more sustainable future is only going to grow.
As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm struck by the incredible progress that's been made in microinverter technology. From their humble beginnings as a niche solution to their current status as a mainstream choice for solar installations, they've come a long way.
And the journey is far from over. With ongoing research and development, we can expect even more innovative features and functionalities to emerge, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with this remarkable technology.
This has been an incredibly enlightening exploration of microinverters, but I feel like there's still so much more to discover. We've delved into their inner workings, explored their practical benefits, and touched upon their role in shaping a more sustainable energy future. But there's one crucial aspect we haven't explored yet: the environmental impact of microinverters.
You're absolutely right. It's essential to consider the environmental implications of any technology, and microinverters are no exception.
So let's dive into that topic in our next segment. We'll examine the environmental footprint of microinverters throughout their life cycle, from manufacturing to disposal, and explore how they contribute to a cleaner and more sustainable energy landscape.
I'm looking forward to that conversation. It's an important aspect of the microinverter story that deserves careful consideration.